identify which axis is the hyperbola. Is this based on the x-axis or the y-axis, and how do you know?
The x, because it comes first.
Okay, because the x comes first. So we know that we're going to be looking at it on the x-axis. Good. Okay. And so what do I know about this 25? What does that 25 represent?
5.
A squared.
A squared. And what do I have underneath my y? 1. Okay, so I have that my a squared is 25, thus a is equal to what? 5. And my b is equal to 1, so my b is 1. Okay, so that's important to know, and we're going to jot that down. And we need that because we need to identify the asymptotes. And it's all about drawing the asymptotes. And so when we are drawing that we're on the x-axis, we're going to use b over a. Okay? And in this case, I know that b over a is equal to 1 over 5. Right? Sorry, I wrote this wrong.
What is it when it's on the y?
It's going to be, we're going to do another problem on that, so if we could just do one problem at a time. Okay. All right. So the asymptotes, believe it or not, are going to be, in this case, this is centered at 0, 0. So what I am going to do, and I'm going to zoom in here for you to see this. My asymptotes end up going through the center of the circle, and this is similar to, so I know that I had b over a is equal to 1/5, and I am going to graph y equals plus or minus 1/5 x. Okay, so I know that 1/5 is my slope, and it's going to go through the origin. So how do I graph 1/5? Up 1 over 5. So I'm going to go up 1 and over 5, and I'm going to put a point there. Okay? And I'm doing that. I'm going to go down.
And it's always through the origin?
Well, because that's the center. Okay, do you think we might have a hyperbola in HK form?
Yeah.
Okay, so then at that point we'll deal with the center of the circle, but I'm not doing that with you today. We're just doing the ones with the center.
Sure, asymptotes we dotted.
Yes, yes, the asymptotes are just your guidelines. So I have, and I said that I was going to graph plus or minus, so I obviously am going to go through one going up, and then I'm going to do one with a negative slope. Okay? And then I'm actually going to make a box. I don't know if you can see my box. I don't think I did it on the top one. So I should have a box connecting this way, and then I have a box here, and I should have dotted lines on the top and dotted lines on the bottom, and that guides me for my asymptotes. My asymptote, my hyperbola touches that line, so where is my vertex is going to be right here on a negative 5 and on the positive 5.
So you just kind of freehand the actual.
That's it. Okay?
And they touch
They touch the box, because that box is, that's where your vertex is.
Do they ever touch the asymptotes?
No, they never touch the asymptotes. They get close to it.
Is there any way to do this without
No?
doing
No.
all these lines?
Wait, can you go back to like the steps?
Yeah. Okay, so what I did was, and you might want to write this down, so you have to identify your asymptotes. That's why I'm trying to make this easy and clear for you. So first of all, you need to identify which axis you're dealing with. Okay, and you identified that because the x came first. So identify the axis. It was on the x-axis. We're going to identify the asymptotes.
So the equation for the asymptotes is b over a.
B over a for on the x-axis. All right, so on the x-axis, it's b over a, and then when it's on the y-axis, it's going to actually be a over b. Okay, so that's important to know. All right, so then I'm going to graph y equals plus or minus 1/5 x. What's the matter?
Sorry.
You okay?
Yeah.
You're going to create a box. You're going to sketch the hyperbola, and the vertex is on the x-axis, and the vertex is a -5, 0, and a 5, 0.
I don't understand how to sketch that.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
get that either.
It's a freehand. So what I think I will do, because I'm sorry, I didn't do that well, but I know, here's my line. Can you see this? I'm going to go back. I'm going to extend my line further. Okay, and so I know I'm just taking it out. And I know that my hyperbola is going to approach that, and you can see that, it's just touching that. So if I extended that line infinitely, it would follow this pattern, it just doesn't touch it. Okay? Yes?
So instead of writing the graph the 1/5 x, can you write y plus or minus b over ax?
Yeah.
How is this different from a parabola other than that it's going that way instead of up and down? Like the
It's not.
shape of the actual line. Is it any different?
No.
Like this file?
But there are two of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Parabola has one.
Did you put the
Will you go back to
notes
the
back
section?
over?
Okay, so I'm sorry, what's your question? What did you want me to do?
Put the notes back over. I didn't finish
Oh.
writing down the like fourth step or fifth step or whatever.
Kayla?
Do you have to sketch a box, or can you just connect the the two dots on the asymptote?
Well, you're creating a box because this is telling you where the vertex is going to touch the x-axis.
Yeah.
And then this is just guiding the shape of the hyperbolas. So, we don't have the foci on there, do we?
No.
Okay, so I don't know if that answers your question.
No, but you don't have to do it like this.
You don't have to, and you graph them without it, that's fine, but it helps you to be accurate. Okay, so if you choose not to, and I'm looking at your graph, I'll look to see how accurate you are. Okay, so how would we find the foci? Can I move the nodes? So the formula is what, a squared plus b squared, sound familiar? Okay, a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Except you're not
Minus b
subtracting.
squared.
So, is it a subtract? No, this is a plus. It's
No, I said
subtract.
it's different because you.
Oh,
don't
got it.
subtract.
Okay, I didn't hear that. Okay, so I have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm going to have 25 plus 1 equals c squared, and 26 equals c squared, square root of 26. Let me see, can I do anything with that? 2 times 13, square root of 26. It's going to be about what? Just off the top of your head. 5-ish, okay? It's going to be about 5 point what? 1.5, thank you.
And then we just put those in there?
Yeah, so what are the coordinates of the foci?
Plus or minus 5.
Okay, so when x, remember, it's on the x-axis, so I'm going to say minus 5.15, comma 0, and plus 5.15, comma 0. Okay? Is the foci. Does that make sense? That the foci are outside, on the outside. Okay, so if you find one that's inside, what does that tell you? You have an error in there. Okay, so you should have an idea. Okay, let's try another one. May I turn the page?
I think we might be in a. Are we doing 4 graphs?
3, maybe 4. Okay. So let's graph y squared over 16 minus x squared over 9. then my step one is exactly the same. What do I need to do? Identify the axis. I kind of, if you're graphing, you need to know which direction you're going. And what do we know? It's on, y squared is first, so it's on the y-axis. Okay? So what is my formula then going to be? Y squared over what? A squared minus x squared over my b squared equals 1. So I need to know my a squared is 16, so a is 4, b squared equals 9, so b is 3. And in this case, I am going to use a over b. Okay, my axis is different. A over b for when it's on the y-axis. Okay?